Hi everybody. If you are watching this video, you are getting your house ready for sale. And there's some things that I need to point out that are very important regarding the sale of the house, okay? You need to tell me these things. You need to let me know if you're leaving town beforehand so I can prepare to have the house, not shown or coordinate for the showings. If you're leaving the country, especially for closing, we need to have original signatures. So if you're leaving the city or the state, we can make arrangements for a mobile notary, but if you're leaving the country, we need to get a power of attorney. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to a U.S. embassy wherever you are out of the country and sign there, more than likely, okay? Are either one of you going to be out of town for the closing? Because we do need to make arrangements, and it does affect our timeline. If there's a condition change in the house, if something breaks down, or if you wind up replacing the roof, or something's not working, we do need to know that so we can update the seller's disclosure. It's not hard to do. Are you current with your payments? Or if you wind up getting behind in your payments, we really need to know so that we can make arrangements with your lender. That way you don't start the foreclosure proceedings. Usually if we let them know ahead of time, they will work with us, and that will give us the amount of time we need to get your house sold. If you wind up moving out of the house, you need to let your insurance company know, because then you need to have vacant coverage. If you don't do that and you need to file a claim and they get wind that the house is vacant, then they can deny you coverage. Okay. Please provide me with all the alarm codes. This is very important, and this happens a lot after closing. Buyer moves in, the alarms are going off, and I don't have alarm codes. If you have a video equipment that's recording anybody, we do have to notify the people that are entering the house that they are being recorded, either audio or visual or both. Okay. Now, condition of the house. All utilities must be on because the buyer needs to get an inspection done. The appraiser needs to check for things, and the buyer can still do a walkthrough. And they want to make sure that nothing major has changed. Okay. We need to have utilities on at the moment that we get the house up for sale, because if we get an offer right away, and it takes 3 days for the gas company to go out, we've lost valuable time. So if the utilities are off, let me know. Electric breakers need to be turned off for the electric company to go on, so we need to do that before. Gas company, I can give them a 1-day code for access if the house is vacant or occupied. Now, we have to make sure the utilities are on all the way through closing. Even, don't turn off the breakers, because if the inspector goes and he doesn't see electricity on, he may not turn the breakers on. They usually don't want the liability. And don't turn the water off at the street, because, again, the inspector or the appraiser will probably not turn that on. Okay? Make sure you maintain your pool, your yard, a spa. Always tidy up. Put your clothes away, do dishes, make beds, put away toys. Pretend like your boss is coming over, okay? We want to minimize the amount of furniture and decor. I can give you tips on that. Pack away excessive items. You're moving away, so you might as well start packing now, okay? The buyer needs to be able to imagine what their furniture and their things are going to look like in the house. And the other thing is, pack away personal photos, awards, that sort of thing, because the moment a buyer walks in, the first thing they're going to go do is they're going to go look, and they're going to say, oh, look at them. They went here and they went there, and they're going to be looking at your photos all over the house or your awards. So you want to put those things away. We want to pack away valuables, firearms, knickknacks, antiques, anything that's important to you, you need to pack it away. As much precaution as we take as agents, we cannot grow eyes in the back of our heads, and children walk around the house and they have sticky fingers. So we want to make sure we don't have anything go missing or have anybody hurt themselves, okay? The rule of 3 is you don't want more than 3 items on any counter. We want to minimize the space. Less stuff out projects a bigger space for your house. Make sure that the home sparkles and smells good. I've listed a few items that I recommend that you use, and this is for everybody across the board. I'm a big fan of Magic Clean erasers, walls, cabinets, appliances, just about anything. Just make sure you don't rub so hard that you peel off a finish or a paint, okay? Mean Green Super Strength Degreaser. You can find that Family Dollar, Walmart, Target. That stuff is amazing. I love to use that stuff for walls that have gotten dirty, greasy, especially in the kitchen, stove, microwave, oven, that sort of thing. Invisible glass cleaner. It's a black bottle. They sell it at Walmart in the auto detail section sometimes too. It's awesome. The plugins. I like vanilla because it smells like birthday cake, and who doesn't love birthday cake? I also love citrus because it's very good at neutralizing a space. So if your house is big enough, then I would recommend one of each on different sides of the house. And if it's got a setting, I would set it all the way down to low so it doesn't overpower people. Um, for cabinets, I like to use, if the cabinets are looking a little dull, I always suggest Murphy's Oil Soap. It helps to brighten the wood back up. And for mold in the shower, Clorox Clinging Bleach Gel. You squirt that stuff on, you let it soak a little while, read the instructions, and then you can rinse it away. It's amazing. It's very good for grout. If you have indoor pets, make sure that you clean their litter box, you crate them. We don't want them running out or a kid, getting bitten because they spook an animal and then the animal winds up scratching or biting them, okay? Also, make sure that there's lots of natural light in the house and you have all your lights on. A bright house looks bigger. Service your AC and furnace and change the filters. If your house is being rented out, ask your property manager what was the last time that they had the AC serviced. I can't tell you how many times I see that on homes that have been rented. They haven't been serviced, and then we're in a mad struggle to try to get that quote. Okay. If you list your house in the summer and it's vacant, or if you're away, I would set the thermostat to 75 to 78 degrees because buyers will stay in a cool house longer in the summertime. And if you don't want anybody touching the thermostat, put a little tape and a note on it and say, please don't touch. If you're listing the house either in the winter or fall going into the winter, I would set the thermostat to, 75 to 70 to 72 degrees, okay, in the wintertime. Because a buyer will stay in a warm house much longer than in a cold house. The longer they stay in the house, the more they like the house, right? Now, if you have any padlocks on the side gates, please make sure you leave me a copy of that key, because if we need to get a surveyor in there and there's a padlock on the side gate, he's not going to cut it off and he's not going to be able to get access, okay? Now, if you put your pet in the yard and you don't want people going into the backyard, put a sign next to that back door and say, dog in the backyard, please do not go back there. The other thing I would recommend is if there's like a window that faces the backyard, put a sign next to that window saying, please view the backyard from this angle, okay? Now, if a buyer can't get into your house, they're not going to buy it. So we need to make sure that we give them every opportunity to view it, okay? The fewer restrictions we give a buyer to access and view the house, the more likely we're going to get a lot of showings. I always tell my clients to try as hard as they can to have the house look like a model, because you're not going to get a second chance to make a first impression, okay? Now, there's 4 reasons why homes don't sell. Price, which we can come up together. Condition, which is where I rely on you. Maintenance and updates, that sort of thing also. Showings, buyers need access. And marketing, which is my job. So let's work together. Let's get the maximum amount of money for your house in the least amount of time with the lowest amount of hassle and stress. So let's begin the journey, and I will see you soon.